Good time of day, guys. My name is Godzi, and welcome to Higurashi When They Cry, Ch.1 Onikakushi. Yeah, finally time to do Higurashi. So yeah, before I get into this Let's Play, I'm gonna say probably quite a few disclaimers about how the series is going to go. First things first, I'm using the 7th mod patch for Chapter 1 of Higurashi here, which is it just installs over the existing Steam version. So yeah, it should have like PS3 sprites and stuff like that instead of the Steam sprites, and probably also CGs, so I imagine it's gonna work similarly to how the patch worked for Umineko. And I don't believe, like the Wonderful Everyday one, in which it just literally adds the rest of the story, because I'm pretty sure the Higurashi release on Steam was not scuffed in terms of story content like Wonderful Everydays was, but oh well, yeah, I'm using that patch. I might link it in the description. It's not hard to find, though. If you just look up Higurashi patch, on Google or Bing, it'll probably be one of the first links to show up. So yeah, for any newcomers to my channel, my name's Godzi. For a little bit of information on my experience with the When They Cry series in the past, I have Let's Played all of Umineko, as well as Golden Fantasia, and I did initially do a series where I read the Chapter 8 manga for Umineko, but copyright shit, so that series no longer exists in any capacity, not even on my computer, unless someone downloaded it, which is technically possible, but I doubt it. So yeah, as far as Higurashi specifically, oh yeah, I also Let's Played as much of Kokoni as I was allowed to. I never ended up actually finishing that in my spare time, which I should probably do that eventually, but with school and stuff, I don't really have as much time as I did during quarantine. So yeah. As far as Higurashi goes, back in like 2015, I watched the anime for Higurashi, both the first and second seasons, as well as like every OVA basically. So like I've seen Rei, I've seen Kira, I've seen Outbreak, I've seen basically all of the anime content Higurashi has to offer. And yeah, I also read the manga for the first chapter, which is this one. So yeah, however, it's been a while. I remember more from Higurashi's anime than I remembered from Umineko's, because Umineko's was a fucking... it was crazy. It was just a mess, really. It was an organized mess. Whereas Higurashi's was, as far as I'm aware, a much, much better adaptation, just really janky, because, yeah, it's got some still frames that are just yikes, but that doesn't really matter as far as my Let's Play goes. So yeah, that's been my experience with Higurashi, even though I've seen the anime and like I know who the culprit, quote unquote, is in this. But I was told that it's I should Let's Play it anyways, because I've never experienced the Higurashi visual novel. So this will be blind as far as the visual novel goes. But overall, not terribly blind. So I'm probably going to be spoiling Umineko throughout the series, and I'm going to give you guys free reign to spoil Umineko if you want to in the comments. If you want to put a warning beforehand, like at the top of your comment being like, warning Umineko spoilers for anyone who has not played Umineko, then feel free to do that, but I'm just going to warn you ahead of time that throughout my entire Let's Play of Higurashi, I will probably be spoiling Umineko many times, and probably also spoiling other parts of Higurashi that I remember from 5 years ago. So yeah. Other than that, what else am I supposed to say? There was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the way this Let's Play is going to work. If you're new to my channel, and you haven't seen my Let's Plays for games like Umineko or Corpse Party or Wonderful Everyday, then you wouldn't know that I turn off voices when I do games like this, so Yeah, and I give characters my own voices, which is probably going to be difficult in the context of this game, but I managed with Wonderful Everyday, which had like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish high school age girls who mostly all had the same voice, but I tried my best to make them all distinct, and I think I did fine overall. But in this game, the ages are at least a little bit more varied as far as the different characters go, so yeah. And I don't remember every single character, I mostly just remember the main cast, the culprit, and a couple other people. So, yeah. Either way, let's just jump into this. So, yeah, let's begin. Start. Ooh. Onikakushi opening. Demoned Away chapter. Ooh. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening, inviting you into this world. Sit back, relax, and enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty for this chapter is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. Okay, so this is the chapter that I'm definitely the most familiar with. As far as Higurashi goes, the only other ones that I don't really remember much of what happens in many of the chapters in Higurashi other than this one, the second one, and either the 5th or the 6th, whichever one's basically like a mirrored version of the second one. Like, it's literally just a retelling of the second one from a different perspective, I'm pretty sure. But I cannot remember for the life of me which one that was. It was either 5 or 6, though. I know that for sure. And I remember parts of 3, but like... And 7 and 8 also I kind of remember a good amount of, but 4 and then either 5 or 6 I remember basically nothing of. And then most of the details of 3 and also 7 and 8, really, I don't remember a ton of, so... Yeah, but this chapter's definitely the one I'm the most familiar with. Oh, and that's the other thing I was going to say. I'm going to be Let's Playing this on a chapter-by-chapter basis, so, like, this will be a separate Let's Play from 2, from 3, from 4, blah, 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 blah. So it'll probably take me a while to get through all of it. It'll probably take longer than it took me to complete Umineko, but I don't know. We'll see if I can complete it within, like, 2 years. So... yeah, I might do a couple chapters back-to-back since it's still Higurashi. But for the time being, I'm just going to do Onikakushi. If I feel like doing the second chapter afterwards, then I'll do it. But yeah, let's begin this journey. Oh god. Creepy, laughing children. Awesome. Please do not deplore yourself. Rika Burncastle. Even if the world does not forgive you, I will forgive you. It just says that twice. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Is that Burncastle's first name? I don't think we ever saw that. The story is a work of fiction. God, I would hope so. June 8th, 1983. Ah, yes, blood. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. I can take a guess. Baseball bat? Question mark? But I'm starting to realize. I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself, in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face, that mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over. She never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. Yeah, okay. This is like a flash forward for sure then. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain. My eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. I just noticed the format of the text in this game is different from Umineko and Kikonia. Is that just because of the specific patch I got? Probably. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. Okay. I loved how I've never seen this word in my life. Demure, you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Higurashi When They Cry. Neato. I don't think the anime opened up that way. Oh. Okay. Anime opening time, I guess. Okay. It's very loud. Okay. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Hello, Rena. Oh, okay. Hello, Mion. I think I remember most of the characters' names, at least from the main cast. Okay. Hi, Satoko. You look dead inside there. Hi, Rika. Oh. Ah. Oh god. Okay, I remember some of those characters. Not many, but some of them. Okay. That's a much higher res cicada than I expected. Oh, it's on. I didn't even notice it was on fire. That's quite the image. Is that an opening for just this arc? Because that felt like... I feel like some of those characters aren't even introduced in this arc. Achievement unlocked, farewell. Okay, why do I already have an achievement? Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads. The melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. And the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints, okay? There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. An ice cream parlor? No chance. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors where I used to live, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Keiichi's dad, alright. A character who does not appear to have a sprite. Granted, it's a black screen. I barely remember this dude. Keiichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. Okay. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window in the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. This art's really good. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain roads suddenly opened up. Pretty. The title screen. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Neat. So individual chapters, I'm guessing, are still split up by the logo appearing. Cool, cool. Ah, the phone. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Nothing else to do except for drink air. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. Ah, anime. Parents just don't exist. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I never tell him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Excuse me. Who eats pickled vegetables and salmon? Raw egg? This is not a normal meal. For breakfast? Like, I guess I can understand the conventions of eating all this for breakfast, but raw egg? That's gotta be a mistranslation, right? Like, yes, my favorite. Crack open an egg, gulp. Fucking, who does that? I'm hoping that's a mistranslation, because that's not perfect, immaculate, or ideal. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. Seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm guessing the parents don't have sprites. Okay. Okay, so since I don't know what you look like, you're getting a generic voice. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't get up early, I don't make it in time for your early breakfast. I'm guessing since we're in his perspective, he doesn't have sprites show up, huh? I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Oh, that's the point of it? Okay. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rena-chan? Hurry, hurry. You two are... Keiichi and Rena already knew each other? I did not remember that. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. Oh, no, wait. Okay, no, I remember now. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. Really? Okay, dude. But well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles. Okay. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Morning. Who did you just say morning to? Did you leave the house and you just turn around and say to your mom, morning, bye? Alright, what voice do I want to give Rena? I have no fucking clue. Keiichi-kun! Good morning! Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. Why is your mouth moving? Is that something with the patch? Probably? I don't know. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. Oh, that must just be with the patch. It's probably meant to sync with the fucking voices, I'm guessing. Alright, that's kind of distracting, though. Is that something that I can turn off? The mouth flaps? Character spikes? Remake? Oh, interesting. So I can switch back to the Steam sprites, but not the original sprites? That's odd, but okay. Skip on yeah, I'll turn up the text speed a bit, but I guess, yeah, there's nothing to get rid of mouth flaps. But, oh well. Alright. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back. Okay, dude. Why are you so mean? Why? Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding. I'd wait for you. With those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Okay, dude. Forever? Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. Okay. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. Okay. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Rena? Or was it your mom? Huh? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Rena? Or was it your mom? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. At least you're self-aware. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps... I can't read. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality as we could... why the fuck my brain not work? I called Rena back to reality so we can make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Okay, what else is strange then? Oh, hold on. I want to see if there's actually, character descriptions. Log? Oh, duh. What did I think the log would be? Does not appear that there is, unlike an Umineko. Unless they're here? Yeah, no. Okay. Mi-chan! Good morning! That's probably Mion. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Alright, hello, Mion. I don't know what fucking voice to give you either. I don't know. Finally. You two are late. Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Rena. And it's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years? I was only off 2 days. You don't say. You were such a cute little tyke the last time I saw you. Mion's gaze started at my chest and then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Alright, awesome. 30 minutes in and there's immediate sexual harassment. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. Awesome, dude. I'm glad that you gave a disclaimer. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Okay. Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Oh, yep, I remember. She always called herself, like, an old man, didn't she? Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in a near panic. And of course she would. Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. Alright, good bit, game. How was it? Seeing the city again? Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores. Tusk, tusk, tusk. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled. Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see? Westport was short for Western imported games. Awesome, so she plays Halo. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast. Oh, those kinds of games. Okay. And I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Rena, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Of course. If Kei-chan is up for it. I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Oh. Then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. Right, so this isn't your first day, I'm just stupid. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Okay, what's with the payloader or whatever that thing's called? Okay. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school, not that that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Too bad, I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. Okay, it's a prank, obviously. So that's how they're gonna introduce Satoko, I'm guessing?
What is it, you guys?
Step back, Rena. It's dangerous. She's here.
Huh? Then Satoko-chan is...
Yep, I figured as much. Her name was Satoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Satoko! A haughty laugh came from beyond the door.
Excellent, Kei-chan. I guess that means you win this round.
No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one, traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine, the list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day.
So then why don't you just open the door and let it drop?
That's what it is! That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upward. So as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko! But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. And then you fucking died. I felt something strange on my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Kei-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow! 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 An inkstone, filled to the brim, was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. Alright, what fucking voice do I give to her? I'd say it'd be easy to just give her Natsuki's voice. Yeah, we'll do that.
My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiichi-san. Aren't we a lively one this morning?
Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Satoko.
I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning.
You little... Ow. I need to not click as fast, I guess. It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. What exactly is an inkstone? Oh, hi, Rika. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Okay, I don't know what voice to give her. Ow.
Pain, go away.
The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head.
You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears.
I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now.
Yay, Rika-chan! Good morning! Good morning to you, Rena. A good morning to all.
Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
I am the very model of a good girl.
A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps.
Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof... Ah!
I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I am S-O-R-R-Y, or maybe you were trying to say I'm sorry slow, I can't tell. Try saying that. If you won't say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead.
I'm against violence! You don't even have any proof!
Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half.
Nick! Stop! Get away from me, you beast!
Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt.
She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days.
Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick.
It doesn't bother me! You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah.
Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan.
Next time, set an even more amazing trap.
Wait a minute. Oh. As she observed the scene, Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon.
Satoko-chan is crying. So cute.
Okay. You can't take them home.
But they're so cute.
You can't, no matter how cute they are.
But just for a bit, is fine? Is fine?
Rena kept the cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up.
Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right?
Rena swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rena into the authorities. Forgive me, Rena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satoko, that inkstone is yours, right?
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up.
Haha, we made it in time. Rise, attention!
Mion gave out the morning commands. Okay. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rena and Mion with their studies. Okay.
You're a pretty good teacher, Keiichi-kun. Easy to understand.
Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. Makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is.
They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice.
In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there will be trouble later on. With these marks.
It's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious school. I'll be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exams a little at a time.
Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams.
Mi-chan, Keiichi-kun is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too.
You're such a good and honest kid, Rena. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school.
Thanks so much.
Especially you, Rena. Private lessons. Just the two of us.
Private lessons?
A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rena's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play of that next time. Okay, dude. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question.
So, in the city, do you have to study this much?
If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university.
So you study just to get into a university?
Well, yeah, basically. While knowing that the stuff won't ever come in handy in the future.
No, here you can get into a university as long as your attendance is good enough.
Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam. If anyone can get into university, then there's no need to be all uptight about the stuff, right?
Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge.
This old geezer thinks that, instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things.
It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom.
Kei-chan, we're done! We're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime!
In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that are signaled at the end of the morning period.
Keiichi-kun, let's have lunch!
How do you pronounce stars, by the way? I might have been making a very troubled face. Rena smiled brightly at me. Alright! Let's eat! Okay. Time to eat food. There seemed to be different cliques, even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Rena and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well.
Keiichi-kun, hurry, hurry!
Rena waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes.
Keiichi-san's lunchbox is most assuredly a plain, miserly, I don't know, rice and seaweed. Why don't you just show it to us? Come now.
Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting.
Well then, Representative Me, please give the signal to start.
At first this was kinda embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we were all friends. Let's see! The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Oh, okay, yeah, there are CGs then. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys to see older boys is scary. Compare that to girls, well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mion noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, okay, I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch.
My, isn't Sir Keiichi's lunch extravagant today?
My, isn't Madame Satoko's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Satoko was starting, Our chopsticks walked in a cross-counter, stabbing into each other's lunch. My, how delicious! No, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile.
I saved some from dinner last night.
By the way, Satoko and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. It seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too? These taste like mom's home cooking. And I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold, they were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do.
I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing! Rika is quite exceptional in many ways.
That's nothing for you to boast about.
Rena's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know.
It seemed that the topic of conversation switched to Rena when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunchbox constantly.
Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. It's good, I hope. I hope?
It's got high marks from me! Mion, you're taking too much! Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out, trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Rika-chan reached over at the same time and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. It was kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena. But Rena seemed rather satisfied as she looked on.
How did you like it? Isn't Rena-san an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Keiichi-san.
I said that's nothing for you to boast about.
You're not much different from Kei-chan, Satoko. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet?
Satoko's face went pale. Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know.
Of course I can! I really can!
It's really hard for her to lie.
Keiichi-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right?
No. Who the fuck puts mayonnaise on broccoli and cauliflower? What?
You shouldn't be picking on her. Mi-chan too.
Rena hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Satoko.
Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Satoko, what's this?
Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. Now that... Oh.
But that's asparagus.
Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds, I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Asparagus wrapped in bacon? That actually sounds pretty interesting. Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible.
The yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait. The green one is cauliflower. So which? Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower. But the green one is,
There is no blue one. But that's probably the joke.
Do you really know which is which? How about you just give up?
I'd expect no less from the class representative. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal.
I do know! I really do! Then answer the question. I know.
She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age.
Cute.
Rena entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. Rena was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile.
Rena! Mimi is picking on me! Cute, cute. It's okay. Reno and H.1 will take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister.
Oh, what the? Flish, boof, bam. It was like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Rena's fists shot out at supersonic speed, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Okay. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces.
This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us.
Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. Okay. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rena. Just wait until she finds a cleaver.
See, Satoko-chan? I took care of them. Cute. I'm gonna take you home.
Making sure Rena couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all! Using Rena like a puppet! Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. The dialogue in this game loves using tildes, I've noticed, which is interesting. No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance.
Hey, Keiichi-kun! Tomorrow, do you have plans or anything?
Huh? It was such a direct question from Rena, I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, then wouldn't you do it more subtly? Rena saw me lost for words and realized that I'd misunderstood and turned red as well.
No, I didn't mean it like that. You see...
So apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Rena's in a panic, I went along with it a little. Oh, really? So, it wasn't meant that way.
Huh? Huh?
Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning deduction. Awesome job, me.
Keiichi-kun, why are you so disappointed? Why? Why? Mi-chan!
Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back. I see. This old geezer never knew you could push her buttons like that.
Huh? Huh? What? What? What is it?
Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach while Rena flailed around, completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Rena's hair. Kidding. Sorry, it was a joke. That was my fault. She really is a cute one.
Huh? Huh? A joke? Since when? Since when?
Huh? About halfway through.
Halfway? So, Kei-chan, that means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start? Huh? That means...
It was only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her. Well, you see... Saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while. Alright. So, why were you asking if I'm free tomorrow, Rena?
Huh? Oh, what were we talking about?
It had been so long that Rena had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me.
It's just, Kei-chan, you probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you?
That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we're playing pin to tail on the donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down here. Yeah, I don't think I know how to get anywhere besides back and forth from school.
Yes. So you see, tomorrow, we were thinking that Mi-chan and I could escort you through Hinamizawa and show you around.
That would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer.
You'll come, of course, right?
If I'm free.
You're being invited by a girl, you know.
If I'm free.
You're probably free anyways.
If I'm free. I was being stubborn so as not to give a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front.
Keiichi-kun, you're not free, perhaps? Perhaps?
While Mion and I had our rather sour back and forth, Rena peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave in. Sorry, forgive me. I apologize. I'm free.
Great!
The trepidation disappeared from Rena's face as it blossomed into a smile. Hey now!
Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are compared to Rena, isn't there?
Seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her, compared to how quickly I agreed with Rena. But her being annoyed was very interesting, so I pushed Rena forward, speeding up her pace to leave Mion behind. Let's go, Rena. Maybe it should just be the two of us tomorrow. Leave grumpy old Mion behind.
Whoa, if Keiichi-kun is okay with that, then...
I'm the one who came up with the idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, Keiichi Maebara. It'd be great if the two of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Rena?
If we're bringing a basket, I'll make all the food. Maybe?
Don't you ignore me too, Rena. I'll put out a village-wide circular saying that you two disappeared into the hotel district together. Oh.
Well then, I'm going home right now to start making it.
Alright, Mion's dead. Awesome.
Tomorrow's going to be so fun. Later, Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan. Bye!
Rena bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion, sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face. Are you alright? There was over 2 meters between you guys.
Since you came, they've become sharper. This old geezer's body can't handle it.
Maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Rena want to hit you. Or else this will end up being Mion's slapstick comedy hour. If that happened, the results might be fatal. Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one who can dodge her jabs.
Felt like it was her knee, though.
Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport. You can't lose, Serena. You need to train up and have a rematch.
Kei-chan, you should. This old geezer will root for you.
Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Rena's infallible technique. Alright, my new headcanon is that Rena was taught by Eva. Alright, cool. I'm enjoying this so far. The slower pace gives more time to actually enjoy shit. New tips unlocked. We're a mixed grade, we don't have a uniform. Oh, what the? Achievement unlocked, welcome to Hinamizawa. View new tips. What are these exactly? We're a mixed grade. Okay. What is this? So, Rena, we're the same age?
Yes, that's right. We're the same zodiac animal, too.
Hey now, it would be weird if we were the same age but not the same zodiac animal.
That's not true. If your birthday isn't the same, then you can have different animals even if you're the same age.
Huh? Oh, I see. Mion, you're pretty smart.
What month were you born, by the way, Keiichi-kun? I'm July.
Rena smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Heh, don't even. It's impossible to challenge me by birthday. I wouldn't even mind you if you bet $1 per month.
Huh? Why?
Rena panicked at suddenly being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I'm certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something as simple as a birthday is so fun I can't help myself.
So that means you were born in April, Kei-chan.
Right on. Too bad, Rena. I'm already far older than Rena.
Oh, I see. Then you're the same age as Mi-chan.
Oh, it's just a few months. That gap will open up again soon enough. Mion snickered through her nose. Hey now, that's not something to get all high and mighty about. As if I'm one to talk. Now that you mention it, you're in a higher grade, right, Mion?
If you're into underclassmen, then I can be an underclassman from now on. Mii-chan, you're not making any sense to me.
Just by seeing Rena's blushing face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though. Then Satoko and Rika-chan are underclassmen. Their grade is so different that they should be in a different school, shouldn't they?
Keiichi-kun, your tastes are a bit too young, I think.
You're not making any sense yourself, Rena. I'll just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit.
Stop it!
Okay. I wondered about it before, yeah? I was wondering why the school has different school years all mixed up.
There aren't enough classrooms. Can't help it. This building is being rented from the forestry services after all.
When she says it like that, it makes sense. I've thought our school was strange for a while now. The schoolyard is gravel, there are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked here. Why is it being borrowed? What happened to the real school?
There was one here forever from before the war. It got dilapidated. They closed it down.
It probably was a grand old schoolhouse.
Well, because of that, the students would have to attend the school in the city. That's pretty far, though, you know? Which school would that be? Did you know that there's a school if you pass by the Okinomiya train station, turn at the hospital, and head towards the pediatrics department? What? So far!
I couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Rena's reaction.
Well, that's why. The guys that didn't want to commute to Okinomiya rented out the building from the forestry services and are attending this pseudo-schoolhouse here. About half the children in Hinamizawa go here. There are quite a lot of kids that come here on bike. Well, since they're attending this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education. That's not true, Mii-chan. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, that's right. I totally agree with Rena on this one.
Yes, that's right. Let's try our best. All of you, try your best. This old man will be rooting for you.
Not just us, you too. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you? Your future is bleak with grades like this.
Fine, just fine. If I get stuck, then I'll just mooch off Kei-chan as he works forever. What do you mean by mooch off Kei-chan? What do you mean?
Chie? What are you doing in this game? Who the hell is Chie? Hey, you're too loud. Be quiet during self-study. The teacher yelled at all three of us. Oh, that's the teacher? Oh, okay. It was completely our fault. Satoko sighed and chortled haughtily. I stuck out my tongue at her in response. It is just as Mion says. The school has nothing to do with higher education. But it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. Okay, that was a pretty long random side event. What's with the fucking evil music, though? I guess I'll read the second one. We don't have a uniform. It's only June, but it's already so hot. I could hear the Higurashi outside chirping me, and at night, there are mosquitoes. It might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings were still cool.
Summer, I do declare!
Satoko was flapping her skirt languidly. That's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she was still a girl.
Keiichi does seem quite cool with just a single button-up shirt. I'm so jealous.
From how I see things, the skirt you're wearing looks like it would be much cooler. A girl like you just wouldn't understand. I'm wearing jeans during this season, how steamy the crotch gets. Okay, dude.
It gets steamy.
This girl's gone imagining something indecent. Renners. Awesome. Awesome job, me. Rena's summer clothes have a nice refreshing color. I cannot read at all today. Holy fuck. I feel cooler just looking at them.
Thank you. They really do feel pretty cool. I do wish my summer clothes were as breezy as Rena's. Satoko-chan, your summer clothes are so cute, being in one piece and all. I'd like to wear your summer clothes. This is actually quite stuffy, you know. I do believe what you're wearing would feel much cooler. But it would be so much more fun with cute clothes. I
had a feeling that Rena and Satoko's base values were fundamentally different. Speaking of which, our school doesn't have a uniform.
Yeah, it doesn't. As long as they're proper, then regular clothes are fine.
There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain. What's the uniform they're all wearing? They're all the same.
That's the city school's uniform. It's not like there's a rule, but they're all wearing them.
Speaking of which, everybody in our group is wearing a different uniform, aren't we? Did you go out of your way to get them from somewhere?
Why, yes. Mion-san supplied them. Michan's relative runs a second-hand clothing store. They can get school clothes from all over the country for cheap, they say.
So you asked those relatives to get a bunch of unique school uniforms then. That Mion. She probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange second-hand clothing store. I get that it's a second-hand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? That's pretty strange for a second-hand clothing store. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about?
Yeah, I think so, too. They also have used school swimsuits and PE uniforms. I don't like the idea of having used ones.
Doesn't sound like that shop makes much money. They probably have Mion pitch in and help so they can make a bit more.
But Mion-san says it'll be a big hit and become a great store with such conviction.
The second-hand clothing store that stocks school uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it. Okay, that one was a bit shorter. So that's just like the game's way of explaining other stuff. I can save whenever, right? I'm assuming. Alright, just save and load. Sure. Okay. Alright, well, I think that's gonna be it for this episode then, guys. I'm enjoying this so far, like I said, like 10, 15 minutes ago. The slow pace makes it so I'm able to enjoy it a little more before it goes crazy. Because I think the runtime of the anime for this arc was like 4 to 6 episodes, something like that. So it went from 0 to 100 within like the first 2 episodes. It was weird, but either way, yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button. And if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!